Are you a business owner and you really want to know about your numbers and your analytics? This is an exciting episode that you're going to be able to pull back the curtain and see what's going on when you run paid ads, geofencing ads. We use my insurance business as the guinea pig. We're spending money right now during open enrollment. You're going to see competitors, what's going on. You're going to see information from Google. You're going to see information from all over the place. So again, if you're a business owner, you really want to watch this episode. It's pretty damn exciting. So here's another episode of Whiteout Results podcast. Today we have back Josh Levine from, tell me again, what's the name of the company, Josh?
Yeah, well, I was going to say from Phoenix. Don't you know that? No. Wise Roots. It's with LLC.com.
WiseRootsLLC.com. And I'm very happy that I met Josh through a mutual marketing colleague. I've been super impressed with everything that I've seen so far. So not only do I not understand about paid advertisement, geofencing, a lot of these different avenues here, I also don't understand very well about AI. And Josh has a unique skill set of understanding both. And his network in the AI community is pretty strong and deep. And so he's getting great intel and being able to really amplify what he does from a paid ad standpoint. What you showed me before, how you're able to scale your business and bring in all of these different angles. Because fortunately, we have spent a lot of years putting in infrastructure from our website to blogs to blah, 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 all of these different pieces that personally I never really understood how they fit together, but I knew it would come together. I was like, you kind of build it, they will come type mentality. So I've really been acting off of faith, but now that I'm actually doing some more pinpointed strategic advertising efforts with Josh and his AI skills, I'm blown out of the water and we're about to see those numbers. So I think you're going to love it. I'm going to love it. And let's all get educated together. So Josh, welcome, my man.
Hey, so welcome everyone. One of the things, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I come from this from having spent millions, literally, millions of dollars, which won't mean much in a couple of years, millions of dollars in marketing with agencies all around the United States. Never really understood what it was doing. At a high level, I got it, but I couldn't track it. It wasn't tangible to me. Just like it is to most business owners. They go like, I'm supposed to spend money in marketing, but I don't know why. Like, I don't see the return on investment. I was like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to track it. There's got to be a way to see it. And different businesses have different metrics and different ways that they track something. And the way I really got into it at first was from being geofenced. So I had several businesses that were advertising and spending money on Google ads and meta ads. And it was called Facebook back then, before it was meta ads and all that stuff, way back in the day, 3 years ago. And I got geofenced at Sam's Club of all places. And what I mean by I got geofenced, I've explained that story before. I started receiving ads for a product I looked at. I didn't Google it. I hadn't talked about it. Like everyone goes, it's listening to me, or it's seeing, and which it is. It's listening to you, and it's also recording you when you type, and it knows what you've looked at, knows what you've looked at on Amazon and shopped with retargeting pixels, and we'll get into that. But I was geofenced, and what it means was I was near a product. It started sending me ads on that product, and I was like, wait, you can track that relationship. I need to know more about this. And then what industries can I use in it? And for my first industry I really went nuts with was the restaurant industry, because it was very tangible. They were one of my best clients doing social media ads and all this stuff. And they would always complain about, how do I know it's working? What do I know? And I didn't have a good answer for them other than like, well, they're clicking on your website, but I don't know if they're walking in.
So Starbucks every time I'm in the area.
Yeah, I would see traffic, but I wouldn't know if it was ringing the cash register. So I was like, how can I make this connection? Well, 100 years ago in AI language, or 2 years ago, about two years ago when ChatGPT really started, I was like, can you help me with this connection? Because I would talk to these tech guys and they would like, oh, it can be done, but blah, 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 blah. And it was complicated at that time. Well, now with AI, you have the instruction manual to anything in your life. And I'm telling everyone, AI is as good as what you ask of it. It can do all the things you want it to do. Does it do them perfectly the first time? No. Think of it like, it doesn't understand you sometimes. So you have to give it context. Well, I said, I want to be able to track a Google ad, a Facebook ad, a geofence ad into my restaurant. How do I do that? And I developed this strategy. And I always guinea pig everything on my own companies first. I do not ever guinea pig on somebody else unless they're game. There's been times where something had a budget that I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. But if you're game, we'll try it. So I really, yeah. And we really perfected the geofencing thing and just to give them people a quick geofencing because they hear it and they think they know what it is, but most companies don't, or they say they do it and they don't. They're really geo-targeting. The difference of a geofence is you can be as finite as about 5 feet. And what I mean by that is you put an invisible barrier around an area, say a Starbucks, and someone walks into that Starbucks, you capture the device, and now you can deliver ads whenever you want because you just built an audience from these people you capture. Why that's so powerful is you're not wasting money on marketing going, hey, I want to get these, a 5-mile radius of this location. Okay, within a week, 1 million people come through this area. Now I'm trying to advertise to 1 million people. Instead, you're going, I want coffee drinkers. I want people that do this, people that do that. Then you can build an audience. So I'm not just happy with that, then want to take that audience and see who's in that audience and then advertise only to the people in that audience that are my perfect person. So how do you do that? All the tools are there. Google Analytics, when those people visit your site, give us all that data. It says like, okay, this guy who came to your site doesn't know it came from the geofence. It does, but it doesn't look at it like that. It looks at it holistically. It goes, this person came in. It's Bob. He's 63. He is in this income strata. How's it know that? His phone's telling him all this information. It was like, it has all of this info. That's why when I remember, all the people worry about Big Brother and the government's never been the big brother. It's Google, Amazon, Microsoft. That's who it is. And they know all this information. And again, what are they using it for? Marketing. When it's good used for marketing, it's good for good. But because you don't want to get ads for things you're not interested in, and they only want to advertise to you if you're interested in their things, right? So that's the good uses of it. But you're able to drill these down. And the people ask me all the time, they're like, oh my God, there are guardrails on it. It's like the audience needs to be 1,000 people. So once you've captured 1,000 people, it's because they go, look, you're painting with a broad brush, right? You're taking these 1,000 people and going, this is what they look like. So they're not saying, hey, there's Bob's phone. Bob, you own Bob now. Now, there are tools that when Bob comes to the website, if he engages, now it goes, hi, it's Bob. But right now we're not doing that. So what we do is the people come in, we target them. Now we can use all the different verticals to advertise to them. The typical geofence company, they have it come in, they grab a display ad, they serve an ad, display ad. They come in, I build the audience, then I go, where am I going to get them? Are they Google users? Are they Meta users? Are they looking at display ads? Are they only have ESPN on their phone? What do they do? Then we deliver ads using those mediums because we've tracked them to come in and then we retarget them. I know it sounds complex, but it's not. So if you think like, but guy walks in Starbucks, he comes in, I got him. I know he drinks coffee. Now he walks out. He fits my perfect demographic, has disposable income, and drinks coffee in town and still lives here. Now, this area is very interesting because it's a transient baby boomers. Snowbirds, baby booming snowbirds. They leave. So if they leave the area, I don't want to serve ads to them because they're not going to come into my shop. So we do this to capture them. And once we have this guy fits my profile, now, okay, what does he do? Does he play Candy Crush? Does he, what does he do? If he plays Candy Crush, I'm going to run ads on there. If he goes to Google, I'm going to run ads on there. If he goes to Amazon, I'm going to run ads on there. And that's how we target him. So it takes a couple of weeks to really learn who these folks are, where they go, and then what ads resonate with that. And that's so we're in a testing period, which you're perfect right now because you're in like we're in like the 14th day. So it's like this is when we really start to get good data. And I'm already seeing some interesting anomalies, especially on the age gaps, the weird the targets, what we're hitting. And it might parlay into something you said to me earlier about your older folks.
Yeah, and this and one of the things just to be clear about what we're talking about here. So I also have a health insurance agency, and we've hired Josh's company to run some geofencing target ads specific for or surrounding Obamacare. So any of you who are in sales, you understand how difficult it is to put yourself out there. Period. And then you start looking at certain demographics in sales, which whether it be real estate, insurance, financial, anything in the financial world, there's a lot of bells and whistles to get to that point, but there's also a lot of noise and a lot of competition. So for me to separate myself from the big boys out there, the Blue Cross Blue Shields, the Pacific Lives, or these massive mega corporations, they're at the advantage financially, right? They have the big dollars to spend. I'm the little guy.
It's funny. You said exactly what I tell, like, the like and I hate to use coffee shops as an example. I just do because it's an easy model to explain. Like you have like a Renegade Coffee that opens up and they have one or two locations. They're up against Starbucks. So
Right.
if they try to out advertise Starbucks, you lose. But if you go, let Starbucks advertise, get them all into their building, and then we go, hi, coffee drinkers, hi, coffee drinkers. Oh, yes, and we're coming for you, Dutch Brothers, too. It's like they know, so it works really effectively. Small restaurants can compete with the Taco Bells or McDonald's of the world because of these tools that are out there. And again, the average agency or the average marketing company, they don't want to deal with the small. They want to just go, I want to sell a big package and that's it. We sell a package. It does this. It's cookie.
You want to sell to Starbucks, not Mario.
Yeah, me too. But it's not my, what drives me is entrepreneurs that are trying to like do new things and stuff, much to my detriment a lot of times. So,
It's a lot of
but
fun though. We sleep well at night.
it is a lot of fun. It really is. And that's also why I like to, it's like the put up or shut up. I'll have products that just it doesn't work. And I'll tell people like, don't spend money on this. This is not your angle. Let's get out and network, my friend. That's where your money's at, right? So I tell that to people regardless. If you own a small business and you're not networking, you're an idiot. Like that's because that's number one. You get 80% of your business from there. I always say these things will do 20% of your business unless you're selling a widget. If you're selling products, a different animal. But if you sell service, you're an insurance. The best networkers in the world sell insurance. It's like you have to network your butt off. All right. I want to jump into these numbers because I want you to see some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these.
Really, it's just super cool. Oh, by the way, I just sent you a request first. So
I gotcha. We'll allow it. So, this is part of the exciting thing that I think most small business owners never get to, right? Getting to the analytical phase where you're really seeing a lot of granular data, and it's hard to comprehend the amount of data that's aggregated and collected, right? And when you see it if you see it on other people's businesses, it's kind of abstract. So it was really exciting for me to see numbers that were specific about my business, right?
yeah,
It was super exciting. That's the first time that I've seen it from so many different angles, Josh.
what it does is it'll show like when I go to a laptop or it's not a widescreen monitor, it's like half my stuff isn't on the screen. I can't get to it. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, so this is Google Analytics. So this is GA4. This is usually where people go and stop. They go,
Right.
it's going up. Like, okay, I see that, right? So in the last 28 days, it's showing your traffic is up 480%. Again, you weren't running ads. So the first week, it always looks like, oh, Pat, Mike, look at that, 480% more. Doesn't mean anything. What means a week from now is when it starts to mean something.
Okay.
So what we look for is active users, how many events. Now, this is super healthy. What that means is an event is came to your site and took multiple, and events like I went to this page, I went to this page, I went to this page. So the average person going about 4 or 5 pages, which is awesome. And more importantly, they're all new users. They're people who haven't been to the website before.
Okay.
So guys, that is a cookie on your phone or on your on your laptop or on your whatever your device you're on, and it only counts you once. Past that, you're a return visitor. So when you and I go to the website, we're return visitors. When these people go, they're new visitors. Now,
Okay.
if it's like you have more new visitors than active, it just means they bounced. So like 100 of those people didn't do anything. And that happens a lot, especially in display ads. They'll click it. Your face is on a lot of your ads. So they clicked it because they're like, who's this hot guy? And then they go, oh God, it's an insurance salesman.
Preach, brother, preach.
Yeah. So they left. So now
He's one of those.
what I always want to know is where they came from. So the acquisition. So the acquisition shows me, where they came from before they came to your site. It's one of the most important things. So this is showing 970 people they went direct to your website. These people, organic social, which by the way, they're not organic. And I will show you how I know this because anyway, display ads, they came from a display ad. Cross network is all of the stuff we're doing. And then organic search just means they were like, I'm looking for an insurance agent. They came to the site. A lot of what it says there is incorrect. And how I know it is because I put a tag on every ad we're running. So it tracks where it follows it above and beyond Google's capabilities, because Google is receiving all these signals from other websites. So when they came in and they were on Amazon, Google just goes, oh, they just came over from Amazon directly. It doesn't know that it was a display ad on their homepage. Does that make sense? So
I believe so. So what you're saying is Google is kind of getting it kind of a more generic, and you're putting some additional tags to get it more granular
yeah.
and specific.
So what you do, and when I show this to people, it opens their eyes to things that they've never seen before. So this is what it says when you're just on the page. It's capturing so much more data that you would have spreadsheets on 7 monitors wide if you open this whole thing up. So what I do is go to the source of traffic because I want to know where they came from. Source and medium. So when I do that, all of a sudden I go, oh, Facebook social, 180 people came. Now only 13 of them were engaged. And what that means is 180 people came to my website from a Facebook ad, but they got there and went like, but that's okay. 13 people in 14 days is fantastic. But so that's what happened. Geofencing from the display ad. 96 people came to the website, but 16 of them were the ones that are going around and reading all your stuff. Now, that's not all your geofencing ads. That's just display ads. Then these are Google. I don't know why they don't call it PPC. It's cost per click. It's, pay per click, but cost per click. So of those people, again, they were the audience we grabbed with the geofence being served a Google ad. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But again, now you can see where they're coming from. Simplify is the geofence, but what it is, when it comes in on a referral, that means they were referred from an app. So they were on Candy Crush, they were on wherever they were, an application, not a website, but an application. So you could have been on Canva and got, whoever allows ads on their stuff.
Right. All the free versions of what we don't pay for, usually they come built-in ads.
Exactly. Not set typically is email. It depends. Like, so say you have an email system or something, or actually Go High Level might be it. If the button on there doesn't have a UTM tag, Google goes, someone came here. I don't know why. Like, and most people don't. So they just don't. Now, if you have something like, if you use a CRM like a Square or like of Toast or like a high level, like But Go High Level, for example, doesn't, because it's it's all customizable, right? So I know you use Go High Level. So that's probably what these are.
Okay.
But again, I can figure it out. Same here with this data not available. But all of these you'll see, like Google PMax means it's a performance max campaign. That's where it came from. And I'll show you that Facebook referral. Now, remember I said on Facebook, organic social, I know your Facebook page had zero traffic. Like no one was coming from there. So this is from the promotion of the ad that we're using your site as a vehicle to deliver. And I have that later it's right here. I'll show it to you later. But
Okay.
but that we just know it, like with a site like yours. So what it means is I need to fix the UTM tag to be clear. I want to say I probably have social on it and don't say social ads. And because once Google will see ads, it'll know it's from an ad.
You're able to customize this. You can really drill down.
Exactly. Yeah, you can go nuts. You can go nuts. So all these other like see the ctickets.com. It's a place it's a site to get my website is to get tickets, right? That see tickets, you'll see stuff on here like Arizona Family, AZ. And what that means is one of the display ads was served on AZ Family and went over.
And someone clicked on it.
Yeah.
They saw that and they clicked on, like, what is this? From that website.
Yeah. And then zero just means they didn't care. So it's like they didn't care or didn't stay. Now we can retarget. And that's what I asked you for that pixel today. Is now what I want is anyone that came in this way, then to retarget them the same way. So it's like, okay, I got you. You've been to the site. You sure you don't want anything? You sure you don't want to call us? You sure you don't? Because, people are in the decision-making process right now, like myself, but
Yeah, just caught you off guard. Here it is. Oh, you weren't exit shopping for insurance necessarily at that moment in time.
yeah. So I want to give them a little bit of nerd stuff quick. And I'm going to go through a lot of this fast because I got to watch my time because I have
Yeah.
literally like 14 windows open for you. And I want you to see because this is all, I literally opened all of this 20 minutes before we got on the call because
Beautiful.
I wanted to see it like as organically as possible.
Thank you.
So here's the geofences. Like, so to show you, and I don't want to drill, I don't want to
Yeah.
show them what you're doing verbatim, but say you have a law office that you want to hit, right? You want to geofence a law office.
So anybody who walks through into that law office,
That's there. So there it is. So anybody that walks into here is going to get an ad. Anybody that walks into here is going to see an ad. Anyone that walks into here, and on the map, that's where we're grabbing them from. So then they're getting served multiple different versions of ads. These two are the best performing right now for whatever reason. They just are. And AI does that, and it'll start to rank them. It'll say like, okay, we've sent out 33,000 of these have appeared on someone's phone, and 38 people of them came to the site. Now, zero actions. Action means they physically walk into your place next, which you might meet with them in public. You're not. That's where a restaurant, I'll be able to see they actually walked into your building because it then tracks that device in. And right now, like I said, nobody would be walking into your building yet. But anyway, so then it gives me all these numbers, which are all gobbledygook to most people, but it'll say like, so this is one campaign. This is our law offices, right? So it has spent $323 and your ad has appeared 72,000 times already for $300. Now think about that. It's
good, Romo.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm coming for you, Rafi.
And say that, yeah, and to get people, so pay-per-click, and this is what I needed to know for your space, because I didn't know this. I don't do ads for people selling health insurance. I'd never done it before. So the CPC is cost per click. How much did it cost to get? Now, for a restaurant, that would be really high. So I did not know if that was good or bad. And I'll show you how I figured that out 5 minutes before I go. So that's just on the audience we have right now. This is not perfected or anything. It's just captured those folks, right?
Yeah.
So then I run them through this filter, and this is where we get the genders of the people that walked in, what age groups they were in. Are they married or single? I could not believe the 50-50 on married or single. I thought that was interesting. Uh, the gender index that,
Very 50-50 in a lot of ways.
yeah, but age index. So like a lot of young and wait till you see it on Google. It's really interesting because again, it takes all these people coming in the audience and then income levels. All right. Like where the income levels were. A lot of people over $100,000. Again, maybe every one of these millionaires, and I just didn't know it anymore.
Well, that makes sense because it's that demographic right there that's getting, hamstrung the most, right? Those are the ones that are taking it really in the shorts big time. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm not surprised by that.
Yes, and older people are concerned about it. Wait till you see that number because it's really interesting. So right now, 71,000 people have received this one campaign I'm showing you. As a matter of fact, it was 72 now. It was 71 when I ran this. I tried to put these in an order that would make sense.
Yeah, great.
It's showing me how many people clicked it, but this is how many devices we got originally. All right. So when I say originally, as of this right now, we got 17,000 people captured in those fences. So in all those buildings, that's how many people walked in. And of those 17,000 people, they've been served the ad on average 4 times, meaning they're scrolling. There's an ad. There's an ad. You're not quite Rafi. You know, Rafi, you'd be like, here's an ad, here's an ad, here's an ad. Here.
Right,
So,
right, right.
but you're close.
I'm coming for.
But that's what's going on now. Now remember, this is the whole audience that we have captured in those areas. So we've weeded them down to the people that were in those spots, but it's everybody. Now we're learning the demographics of those people and their buying history, where they go, so we can actually weed that down even further, but we haven't done that yet. So now Google is showing me, okay, now remember their cost per click was for, what was it again?
414 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
14, something like that. And I have it in the end. So then Google is taking that same audience, retargeting them, and it's $4.69. Okay. And that on Google has served 18,000 ads. 224 people have come to the website. Now, this is an example of like how Google takes your ad, just because I wanted you to see like versus the like, so when they're on a search ad, it looks like this. When they go to a display ad, it looks like this, right? It grabs their attention. When they're on YouTube, it looks like, oh, there you are on YouTube again. And then like discovery ads and then Gmail. Like if they're scrolling, you see these promoted ads when you're doing that stuff, right?
I'm at.
So you see that that's how they're appearing. This is what time of day are they appearing? How much do they cost at this time of day? When are people more active? Like how many impressions did it receive at that time of day? I already learned some weird stuff in there, like 8, 9 in the morning, like 8, 9 at night, which made sense to me, and then 8 in the morning. Like I would have thought, I don't know when I thought would they be looking, but what that means with that data, we can turn the delivery up at those times, like weight the amount spent on those times when the people are most active and change the click-through rate significantly. This shows me I did both of these. What people are Googling and searching of this group to make sure they're looking for what we're saying, right? Because if they're looking for uh chia pets and they're getting our ads, it's not working. This is what they're looking for. Health insurance, number one. Duh, right? That's what we want. And AHCCCS, which to me, access, right?
Right.
Which for me, I want to get that keyword now all over. It tells me SEO wise, that's more important. And like, say your Google My Business page, I want to make sure that's in your description because that'll move your ranking because that's right now what people are looking for. Now, Medicaid, you may not want the person Googling that, but you might. So, and that's
Medicaid and access, the same thing.
yes, but all of these words, like this is where you'll start to see competitors too, like Geico. Okay, they're not a competitor, but people looking up Geico saw your ad. Heal Plus, just insurance in general. You'll start to see Spanish. You'll start to see different spellings. You know, you know, competitors call Medicaid, like somebody was trying to call them, Google their number, and they saw your ad. Estrella, like different insurance companies. And again, you're not buying any of these are not keywords you're buying. This is what people were doing before they saw your ad.
This is something I might want to consider buying, is what you're saying. This is helping me determine that, because we're just in the courting phase. We're just doing a little homework, a little research.
This I thought was interesting. The number one on performance was Access's phone number. So people are looking for Access phone number, probably because they're stressing out and they're going to call them, right? It's open enrollment. They're calling. So anybody looking up that phone number, we should be going, hello, and then just retarget them. So now they're trying to get through to them, whatever, but now we just want to retarget them. All right. So it's telling us all that. Again, you see how much information there is, right? I don't, and you don't. The olden days, we'd read all this, export it all the Excel spreadsheets and then sort it and go, oh, I don't know. And then we'd make a roll the dice decision on it. Now we have AI to do this, right? So that knows the industry and knows the standards and knows here, this of the audiences that have been to your site. Look at the age gap. So 18 to 24-year-olds, 25, and then us, Gen X, ain't looking for, we're like, oh, whatever. And then maybe
That's because we're slackers, man. We wait till the end. We're pushing down. We kick the can down the road. We're busy. We're preoccupied. Parents, professions.
So, or maybe we're waiting to inherit from this group over here. But it's, but you see what I mean? So unknown means they usually have their cookies blocked or using a VPN or something. It doesn't know who those people are. But this is interesting, especially because what we discussed earlier, going after this group. All right. It means they're ripe. This is tracking the phone calls that come in from the ads. All right. That's why I need your search. You need to go to your Google Search Console and accept a notification I sent you. Therefore, it'll actually record all these calls so you can actually run them through and see how many were legit leads and how many. Yeah.
Keeps on coming. This is insane.
And how many, like this guy, I don't know here. Let's just Google. Do you know this guy? Here, wait, I'm going to do it in different.
Don't do it. Because I don't know. I don't want to put up a client, right, or somebody. I don't want to make anybody look, let's not do that.
Anyway.
But then you should know you can do that. That's crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
And what I use it for, let me give you a great example what you can use it for. You can export all those phone calls. You can export all the transcripts and then go, okay, how many of these were actually leads? Because it just listens to them in seconds. So if you have 1,000 calls, it'll listen, go, 200 of them were actual leads. It sounds like they closed. And then also it'll grade you as a salesperson and go like, whoever answered that phone sucked. They didn't do a good job, but whatever the case. So this is what I was telling you. I had sent out a request for your Search Console because if I attach it to it, it'll actually track all that stuff for you, their phone call and all that stuff. But anyway, I'll remind you that. Okay. Facebook has the Facebook. This is, so that audience was captured. It was shared. It's now an audience in Facebook. And when I say Facebook, Meta, I can't get out of my brain calling it that. So it's Meta. And then it uses your content that's already on there to serve to those people as well. So retargeting them where they are. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram, right? So 10,000 people were reached there. 314 of them engaged. Now, a post engagement is not super exciting to me unless it's a video and they watched it.
Okay.
But in this is what's important to me. So how many times have you seen an ad when you're on Facebook and then clicked the button to go to the website, right? Not often.
No.
So, but 304 people it says 30 days only because it only lets me choose 7 or 30. I know they've been running for 14. So in 14 days, and then this new ad, which isn't new, it's something you had on your site. It suggested we boost that. So I told him I said, do it. It said like, this is performing well, boost this one. So that's all from AI.
Insane, bro.
So wait, there's more. So then, this is the Search Console. I need you to log in here and just connect this for me. Because the Search Console is what tells us where the clicks are coming from organically, like where your organic performance is coming from. And that's what we want to see, because I want to see what words you're getting impressions. Like, I don't know what Ambetter is. What is that?
It's an insurance carrier.
There you go. So Ambetter, Oscar, Banner, like, what is tax deferred occasion? There you go. You got people, and that's just people organically coming to your site. It has nothing to do with ads or anything. But I want to see that info, because I expect to now see those search terms be the lion's share, if that makes sense. So back to what I had said to you about, I didn't know is $4. Let's call it $4 a click. Like, good coming from.
You didn't have a benchmark.
So I didn't have a benchmark. So who in the insurance industry is one of those things that they have press releases and podcasts and things. So I used Perplexity. The reason I used Perplexity for this is I wanted an innocent third party. I researched you on ChatGPT. I did a lot of my homework for your stuff on ChatGPT and Claude. And if you know now, the AIs actually do build memory. So I didn't want it to have I wanted it to be completely an outside looking at your campaigns. I gave it all this data and I said, and I'm going to ask it a billion questions after our meeting, but because now I'll do all the tweaking because my goal is to get that cost per click down. I want to get it down around $2 from what I read. And I said, what is the industry standard? And then after I said that, I said, you know what? What is the industry standard during open enrollment historically? Because I know when there's higher competition for a certain keyword, they turn the volume up. It's like, I'm trying to give you a good example. Real estate's the worst. Like a real estate, a cost per click can be like $35. Attorneys pay $60, $70.
Yeah, I know it's pretty high for this.
I have an orthodontist that pays, oh my gosh, I think she pays $35 and thinks it's a lot, and it's not for the cost, what the return on ad spend is for a new patient. It's not high, but the industry standard there is like 50. So here so I asked it that, and it says, your Google and geofencing campaigns launch directly into peak open enrollment, a period known for high consumer intent, dramatically increase ad competition. So the CPCs we have right now are $4.15 for geofencing, $4.69 for Google, and $3.36 for Meta are all holding steady or slightly better than the current national open enrollment averages, despite intense competition and rising costs seen in these weeks. The click-through rates are stable, impressions are consistent, and both reach and frequency metrics are healthy, blah, 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 blah. It talks about the site being up 400%. That's all great. So achieving these CPCs and engagement rate during the most competitive time of year is a positive performance indicator. Your campaigns are running efficiently, solid. Results suggest above average campaign health for this testing period, especially noted given the spike in competition span, blah, 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 blah. Your 14-day start is off, is on track for success. Any other company would go, we're good. If they Google me, they're going to see I'm on the industry standard. That's great. To me, that's like, I don't want to be the average. I don't want to be doing good. I want to be $2, right? I want to cut this half.
Love you, buddy.
But here's the thing, Mari, this is what you have to remember. This, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill this thing. And the reason I know it is because I haven't made one single adjustment because I wanted to see this data. So the data, the way we built it from the get-go was spot on for an industry. I've never done it because I used AI to do it and help us. Now I can take the knowledge we have and go, now perfect all of these ads and all of the campaigns. So it's going to give me like, okay, remove these 3 keywords. These people have no buyer intent. Add this age, remove this age gap, do this. And it'll change in 3-4 days. Like it'll lower. And it's all getting that perfect audience, perfect thing. Then the most important thing at November 30th, I want to go, how many leads you get? How many people actually did you sign up? What did you guys get? Right.
Right. Right. And that's what we're all curious about. Oh, this is okay. All right, cool. Well, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your flow, man. You're rolling.
Yeah, so no, but that's I know it's at a high level it's boring, but that's what people with AI, anybody can do this.
I disagree with you. This is boring, especially. I mean, if you're the business owner, this is exciting. This is the meat, man. This is what I want. I want data. I want to see the numbers. You're giving me the numbers. I love it. The fact that you're taking those numbers and pulling them all together, letting AI help influence the decision making moving forward, makes it more efficient for you, which tells me it gives you time to free up to go work on other aspects of the campaign. So, from a value perspective of from what I'm gaining by working with a guy like yourself who has very much embraced AI, with your knowledge and skill set, this is crazy, dude. This is insane.
See, what's funny about it too is, and where one of my weaknesses is, when someone hires me, there's one of two types. I want to tell them all this stuff and show them this stuff. I can't tell me business owners go, dude, don't want to know about it. They'll tell me they just make a care. They're all the time. Or some people are checking a box. They're going, and they don't realize I do this for everything I'm working on because it's what drives me. You saw every one of those folders. I have my analytics for every single person. I have my Google sheet set up with KPI analytics to monitor every month going, okay, we moved the needle here. Whoa, what's going on here? It's like baseball to me. It's like looking at all the stats. Like I'm the guy who, when my football team plays at the end of the game, I look at everybody's stats just because I like numbers. I just always have. But some people don't, and I get it, and I have to remember, but I just want people that, they just think like what I was taught about agencies. They go, I bought an ad, and at the end of the month, I talk to the guy, and that's all he does. He just runs an ad, and he's signed.
So let me give you some feedback right now. From actually talking to clients, right? So, Norma's phone is ringing daily, right? Couple times a day.
No. What's actually is it Yelp? I always say that because you start running ads, just so people know. When you start running ads, it's like you raised your hand. Every single ad agency in the world and marketing,
Yeah.
usually Yelp and the Better Business Bureau go, oh, hey, you need to run ads?
I don't, at this point, I know we're just talking about a couple, potential customers,
Yeah.
who are, looking for help specifically a lot more with access. Because obviously that's kind of what we've kind of started off with for people that are losing access, knowing that there's going to be a big hit to Medicaid, with what the current administration's up to. So, we methodically did that. So we are talking to clients, but we're going to have to massage our audience criteria and maybe where we're looking to get us, with the people that are maybe more in line with not getting access, who are actually losing access. So this is great. I can't wait to show her this.
Yeah.
This is a great start. I don't really, off the top of my head, I don't know where to begin on these questions. I do have additional questions, but it is already 1:55. So
Yeah.
I want to be mindful of you being, giving you some downtime before your 2 o'clock. So I think this is probably a good jump off point. And unless there's anything else you want to, bring up as far as the numbers, I'd say this is great. Let's end this here and we can have a follow-up conversation off camera. And
I
so
can't wait to hear what you two have as far as like what you glean from it and go, you know what, let's go all in over here. Not all in, but let's move budget here. Let's move. Yeah.
I'm still kind of confused on what we could do and what we can't. I mean, this is great to see it all, but I'm really not. I still need to spend a little more time understanding so that we can move, especially the geofencing side. Like maybe we've chosen targets that we now realize we don't want that target, right?
Or
The
we can
people
move it and you literally move it. Just, I
and see.
started, I
And
just
I'm also curious.
spreadsheet.
I'm also curious about the ads, like how the display ads that are the verbiage that we're putting in front of them. Those are some questions I have for you, to understand, like, can we put more specific things? Or are we only waiting for AI to give us pick the ads? Because I think the messaging is going to be a big deal. Because now we're at the point of conversion, right? Now that we have traffic, now the conversation comes in about conversion. Okay, people are coming, but what are they clicking? Who's actually converting? Which then that's a whole nother science. So
Yeah. Speaking like I've always said that to people, and I'm always happy to have offer my input, but that people always have to. I mean, they're selling and closing every day.
oh,
They know what closes better than I do for their business. However, I go, I know I'm going to get your ad in front of their face. Whether it closes is your job. I know I can get it in front of their face, but like you said, the message matters. And I usually find it's just speak to their pain. Speak to the pain. What's the pain? Oh my, have you heard insurance rates are going up? We can help. That's all you need to say. Like,
So what would help me at this point if you could shoot me an email screenshot of the messages that are currently going out because you showed them.
yeah,
They're on here, but I don't know if there's others, right? I would like to see what messages are.
yeah, I'm sure it's tested 100 out of 70,000 impressions. It's tested 100. So yeah.
So I don't, and this is where I don't know if you can add me in as a, as whether a user or just a viewer or something, so I can go in there and look. I don't know how that works. So that's something that'd be very helpful to give the direction so that we can start tweaking on the conversion. But this is great, bro. I'm so excited. All right. Well, it is again 1:58. So
Right.
let's sign off here. And thanks for making this a podcast. And for those of you who watch this, give us a call. Let me introduce you to Josh. This guy is freaking brilliant. This is insane stuff, and I love it. I'm just so excited to see where we're going with this, Josh.
My pleasure, brother.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.